They told you aging means slowing down, drifting apart, and letting go of desire. But what if that's not the full story? What if 4 simple fruits, right in your kitchen, could help you feel more connected, more energetic, and more alive in your golden years without a single prescription? I'm here to show you exactly how to use nature's quiet remedies to revive circulation and intimacy naturally, even into your 70s and beyond. Stay with Methods could change how you feel, love, and live after 60. They said aging would take away your spark, that it was time to slow down, step back, and expect less from your energy, from your body, and even from your closest relationships. But what if they were wrong? Deeply, fundamentally wrong. My name is Dr. Philip Monroe, and after nearly 32 years of working with older adults, I've learned something remarkable. While many believe the only answers for declining intimacy or low circulation lie in hormone therapy or pills, there's another way, a gentler, safer, natural way. You see, through decades of listening to my patients and carefully studying patterns among healthy seniors, I discovered something surprisingly simple. 4 fruits. That's right, just 4 natural fruits. These aren't trendy superfoods or expensive exotic imports. They're everyday, affordable fruits that work in harmony with your aging body. They nourish your blood vessels, awaken hormonal signals, and help restore connection not just physically, but emotionally. In this video, I'll walk you through each one, why it matters, and how it can gently bring back energy and closeness you may have quietly started missing. Before we dive in, if you find this topic meaningful, please click the subscribe button and tap the bell icon. On this channel, Elderly Life Lessons, we bring thoughtful, practical, and heart-centered tips designed especially for seniors over 60. If you feel inspired by what you hear today, leave a 1 in the comments. If not, that's okay too. Just type 0. I read every message, and I truly want to grow this space into something that serves you well. Let's begin with the first fruit, one that may already be sitting in your kitchen yet it holds remarkable power. 1. Red grapes, the silent circulation healer. I'll never forget Elaine and Harold, a couple from Savannah, Georgia, who first came to see me when Harold turned 71. He was frustrated. His legs would cramp, his hands felt colder, and more quietly, he shared that he just didn't feel close anymore. That quiet sense of warmth and connection between him and Elaine had faded. Is this just part of getting old? He asked. It's a question I hear often, and the answer, thankfully, is not necessarily. What surprised Harold was that part of the solution was already sitting in their fruit bowl. Red grapes, these humble, juicy fruits, contain a natural antioxidant called resveratrolone, of the most powerful circulation enhancers nature has to offer. When consumed regularly, resveratrol works deep within your vascular system, helping blood vessels relax and expand, which allows better oxygen flow throughout the body, including to the heart, muscles, brain, and, yes, intimate regions. What's especially fascinating about red grapes is how targeted their support can be. You see, as we age, it's often the lower body that suffers first from poor circulation. Cold feet, numbness, slower physical response during intimacy, these are all signs that blood isn't flowing where it should. Red grapes help change that. For men, better circulation means better oxygenation and blood flow to areas required for healthy arousal and performance. In fact, many older men I've worked with reported stronger, more dependable erections after making red grapes a daily habit. And unlike medications, grapes don't come with a long list of side effects. For women, the benefits are just as important. Increased pelvic circulation supports not only sensitivity, but also emotional connection, physical warmth, and comfort during closeness. It's not just about function, it's about feeling whole and responsive again. Elaine, for instance, told me 2 months after Harold began eating grapes regularly that something had softened between us again. It wasn't just about performance, it was about presence. Red grapes are more than a sweet treat. They're a gentle invitation to better blood flow and renewed intimacy. And the best part? You can start with just a handful a day. Add them to breakfast, enjoy them as a snack, or freeze them for a refreshing evening treat. In time, you may be amazed at how such a small habit can bring such big change. Now, let's move to something unexpected. A fruit often dismissed as a holiday garnish, but secretly one of nature's greatest defenders of both intimacy and kidney health. 2. Cranberries, the kidney's quiet ally. Most people think of cranberries only during Thanksgiving, a side dish, a tangy sauce. But inside this tart little fruit lies something far more powerful. Cranberries are among the most underrated allies of senior vitality. And I learned that the hard way. One of my longtime patients, Margaret, age 66, had come to me with repeated urinary discomfort and a quiet sadness around her intimacy. "I just don't feel right," she confided. Tests showed early signs of kidney stress and frequent urinary tract issues. I suggested something simple: add a small amount of unsweetened cranberry juice to her daily routine and tried dried cranberries with breakfast. 6 weeks later, she returned with tears in her eyes. Not because she was hurting, but because she wasn't. "I feel lighter," she said. "More at ease. More like myself." Here's why that matters. As we age, kidney function can subtly decline. When your kidneys aren't filtering well, toxins build up in your bloodstream, inflammation increases, and circulation begins to suffer. That doesn't just affect your energy or blood pressure. It can directly impact arousal, performance, and emotional comfort during closeness. Cranberries are rich in special compounds called proanthocyanidins. These help prevent bacteria from clinging to the urinary tract, reducing infections and irritation. They also support healthier blood pressure and more efficient blood filtration, both essential for sexual response. For men, healthier kidneys mean stronger stamina, better pressure regulation, and enhanced nitric oxide production, the very compound that supports firm, reliable erections. For women, cranberries support pelvic comfort, reduce dryness, and even ease the emotional toll that chronic urinary discomfort can bring. The best part? You don't need a complicated regimen. Just a few tablespoons of pure cranberry juice in the morning, or a sprinkle of dried cranberries in your oatmeal. This small habit can improve your comfort, your clarity, and your confidence. Because when your body feels safe and supported, your heart opens up too. That's the secret no one tells you about intimacy after 60. It's not just physical, it's emotional. And cranberries, strange as it sounds, can help restore both. Now, if you've found these 2 fruits enlightening, wait until you hear about the next one. It's bright, tropical, and quietly reignites something deep inside many seniors who thought the flame was gone. Let's keep going. 3. Papaya, the inner fire restorer. There's something almost magical about papaya. Its golden orange color, its soft sweetness, it feels like sunshine in fruit form. But beyond its beauty and flavor lies a strength that many older adults overlook. Papaya is more than a tropical delight. It's a quiet powerhouse that helps older men and women awaken the energy, vitality, and hormonal rhythm that time often dulls. Let me tell you about Peter. He was 69 when he walked into my clinic in Modesto, California, tired and frustrated. A retired school teacher, Peter was a disciplined man. He exercised daily, avoided junk food, and even meditated. But something was missing. "I just don't feel myself anymore," he said. "I'm distant from my wife. My energy feels flat. And don't even ask about our intimacy." Peter had no major health issues on paper, but he had something deeper: subtle hormonal fatigue, circulation slowdown, and emotional detachment. So I suggested something simple. Start each day with a bowl of fresh papaya. Add it to his morning yogurt, or blend it into a light smoothie with plain kefir and a handful of walnuts. 4 weeks later, Peter came back. Same gentle voice, same glasses perched low on his nose, but this time, he smiled. "I don't know if it's the fruit or just timing," he said. "But my wife noticed before I did. I've been different, present, awake." Papaya is rich in vitamins A, C, and E, essential for hormonal health and immune function. It also contains the enzyme papain, which helps with digestion and reduces internal inflammation. That might not sound related to intimacy, but it is. When your gut is calm, when inflammation decreases, your hormones stabilize, and your blood flows more freely. Everything improves: your sleep, your mood, your confidence. For men, papaya helps stimulate natural testosterone production and enhances the flexibility of blood vessels, particularly in areas that support sexual arousal and stamina. I've seen older men who felt flatlined begin to experience new surges of energy, often subtle at first: a renewed spark when holding hands, a gentle warmth during a kiss, a steadier heartbeat during quiet moments of connection. For women, papaya helps support estrogen balance and adrenal function. The adrenal glands, often overlooked, are the body's stress regulators. When they're nourished, you're less likely to feel emotionally withdrawn or physically tense during closeness. Many of my female patients have described a return of interest, not in a dramatic, movie-like way, but in a soft, natural openness that hadn't been there in years. Papaya is more than food. It's a messenger, reminding your body what vitality feels like. A scoop at breakfast, a slice after a walk, a smoothie during a quiet afternoons are not just snacks. They're nourishment, gentle steps toward reclaiming that part of yourself that still longs to connect, still longs to be seen, held, and fully alive. And if papaya brings the spark, then our fourth fruit brings the glow. A deeper, richer connection that touches not just the body, but the heart. 4. Cherries, the intimacy enhancer. I remember one patient story so vividly. A couple named Julia and Morris from Portland, Oregon. They had been married for 42 years and came to see me not for any major medical issue, but because they felt out of rhythm. They loved each other deeply, but something had shifted. "We're more roommates than partners lately," Julia whispered, her eyes moist. Morris looked down. "I miss us," he said. They weren't asking for miracles. They just wanted to feel close again. After reviewing their lifestyle and health, I introduced cherries into their routine. Simple, yes, but purposeful. They began sharing a small bowl of fresh cherries every evening after dinner. They'd sit on the porch, eat slowly, talk about the day. 2 months later, they came back holding hands. "It's not just the cherries," Morris said with a laugh, "but they started something." Cherries are deeply restorative. They contain anthocyanins, natural compounds that reduce inflammation in the arteries and support nitric oxide production. That's crucial because nitric oxide allows your blood vessels to relax and expand, increasing blood flow throughout the body, including to the organs responsible for sexual pleasure and responsiveness. For men, cherries promote improved circulation to the pelvic region, supporting firmer and longer-lasting erections without the need for synthetic stimulants. And because they also help reduce inflammation and improve cholesterol, they contribute to overall heart health, which is essential for safe and satisfying intimacy in older age. But cherries do something else too. They calm the mind. They're one of the few fruits naturally rich in melatonin, the hormone that regulates your sleep-wake cycle. Deeper, more restorative sleep leads to better hormonal balance, lower cortisol levels, and a more emotionally regulated mind, all vital ingredients for connection. You may have noticed that when you sleep poorly, you feel more withdrawn, irritable, or numb. Cherries help shift that by helping you rest deeply and wake up clearer, calmer, and more emotionally receptive. For women, improved sleep and circulation also mean fewer mood swings, better lubrication, and more physical comfort during closeness. Julia later told me that their evening cherry ritual became their restart button, not just for their digestion or blood pressure, but for their relationship. The beauty of cherries lies in their subtlety. They don't force changes, they invite them. A few cherries before bed, a slow walk afterward, a deeper breath during a hug. These small rituals can reignite connection in the most unexpected ways. And now that we've covered the 4 fruits: grapes, cranberries, papaya, and cherries, you might be wondering, How do I bring all of this into my life? Not as a quick fix, not as another burden, but as a gentle, sustainable practice that nourishes your energy, your love, and your sense of self. That's exactly what we'll explore in part 3, as we gently guide you through how to use these fruits in a daily rhythm so they become not just foods, but quiet tools for healing and renewal. You've now learned about the 4 powerful fruits that can restore circulation and revive intimacy after 60. But knowledge without action stays dormant. So let's talk about the most important part though to begin. And here's the truth. You don't need to overhaul your diet or follow a rigid routine. In fact, if you try to do too much at once, it can backfire. What you need is something gentle, consistent, and emotionally supportive. If this is your first time thinking about food as medicinaire, as a bridge to closeness, you're not alone. Many seniors I work with are surprised that something so simple could make such a difference. The key is not how much you do. It's that you do a little every day. Maybe you start with red grapes, buy a small container, rinse them, and leave them where you'll see them. When you feel a dip in energy or loneliness creeping in, eat a few. Slowly, let them remind you that healing doesn't have to be hard. Or maybe cranberry juice speaks to you, just a small glass of unsweetened juice with your morning vitamins can help flush toxins and bring comfort. If you want warmth, papaya in the morning is a beautiful way to wake your system gently. And at night, a small bowl of cherries, whether fresh in summer or frozen the rest of the year, can close your day with grace. These are not burdens, they're invitations. And you don't need to remember every vitamin or every molecule. What you're doing is creating an emotional and physical environment for your body to thrive. These fruits speak directly to your circulation, hormones, and nervous system, but they also speak to your soul, because something beautiful happens when you nourish yourself from the inside out. Within the first few days or weeks, you may begin to notice small shifts: warmer hands and feet, a little more clarity in the morning, a quiet return of interest in touch, in tenderness, in connection. These aren't accidents. They're signs your blood is flowing more freely, that your body is responding to your care. For men, it might mean firmer, more dependable arousal. For women, it could be less dryness, more warmth, or the simple joy of feeling comfortable in your body again. These are intimate gift zones that age tries to take from us quietly. But with the right nourishment, they can return just as quietly. You may also notice emotional changes. Less frustration, less doubt, more confidence in your body, your value, your ability to connect deeply even after years of distance. I've seen it happen again and again, not through pills, but through belief, choice, and consistent self-care. I want to say something clearly here. You are not too old. You're not too old to feel good again, not too old to desire, not too old to be desired, and certainly not too old to reconnect with your body, with your partner, or even with a part of yourself that you may have tucked away, thinking it was gone for good. You've lived decades. You've worked hard, raised families, faced loss, and adapted to change. Now, in this chapter of your life, you deserve joy. Not just comfort, but joy. And that joy often begins with physical vitality, the energy that fuels emotion, intention, and presence. These fruits, grapes, cranberries, papaya, and cherries, are not magic. They're not shortcuts. They're gentle reminders of what your body already knows how to do. Respond to love, attention, and care. Sometimes we think of aging as a slow shutting down, but it doesn't have to be that way. In fact, I believe aging is an opening, an opportunity to deepen, to feel more, and to live with more intention. Every fruit we've talked about today supports that process. They help your blood flow freely. They balance your hormones naturally. They restore the quiet rhythms of intimacy, energy, and connection. But more than that, they help you remember that your health is still worth investing in, that you deserve a life filled with touch, comfort, pleasure, and peace, not as a memory, but as a living experience. And perhaps the most powerful part of this journey is that it doesn't begin with a doctor's visit or a medication. It begins in your kitchen, in the produce aisle, in your decision to put grapes in your bowl instead of a cookie, to stir cranberries into your oats instead of giving up, to blend papaya into your morning, or eat cherries under the stars with someone you love. That's the quiet revolution. The choice to heal, to restore, to believe that you still have so much life left to live. Believe that you are not finished. You're just entering a new season, one with softness, strength, and so much more connection than you ever thought possible. Thank you for being here. Thank you for trusting this space. And thank you for choosing to care for yourself one piece of fruit at a time. If something touched your heart or sparked a new idea, share it in the comments. We'd really love to hear from you. Your words mean a lot to us and help keep this channel growing. If this video is helpful for you, please give it a like, share it with someone who might need it, and don't hesitate to subscribe. Until next time, stay well, stay open, and remember, your best days might still be ahead. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to spending time with you again in the next video.